So the catapult, when it's danced through, looks like this. It goes 7, 8, step back, pull down and raise, lean forwards, back to the side. You're going to spin the ladies and catch with the left, return and back. So the catapult starts off man's right to ladies' right. Hands are at waist level, of course, ladies' fingers over the top, no thumbs. So fellas, you're going to push away at waist level, you both take a step back. So for the catapult, there's a very particular lead. The man is going to sweep his arm, okay? So it's a bit like you're doing front crawl, okay? Or you're bowling a cricket ball over arm. What you're doing is you're pulling down initially, that's what makes the lady step forwards. You're pulling down and then you're sweeping your hand up and out to the right and over the lady's head, okay? So whilst I said it's a bit like bowling a cricket ball over arm, it's not, your arm's not going straight over, your arm is pulling down and then going up and out to the right with your elbow out, creating this arch that the lady will travel underneath. So you've taken a step back. From here then, men, you need to now step into the left of your lady and you keep facing the same way as you do the sweeping arm. So you're going to pull down with your right hands past your right hip and then raise it up and out to the right and over the lady's head. So the lady will have stepped forwards and have turned to her left underneath. So halfway across, we're like this now, side by side, facing the same way, man's right hand raised. From here then, men, you're going to keep facing the same way as you take a step in front of your lady. You're going to lower your hand to waist level, but also offer your spare hand out behind you too. And ladies, you take hold of that offered hand as soon as you see it. At this point here, there's a little bit of tension in your arms, and you're kind of at a distance from your partner. From here then, men, keep the hands at waist level. The man is going to take a step back to the right, okay? Not straight back onto the partner's toes, but you step back to the right and you bring your right hand towards your right hip and you pull with the left hand to make the lady step in beside you. So you're now side by side, all hands at waist level, facing the same way. From here then, men, you're now going to let go with the right hand. You're going to take a step back onto the side that you started from, and as you do so, we're going to spin the ladies. To do this, you need to keep your left hand at waist level, and as you step back, it's like your left hand is describing a big circle at waist level horizontally, and then you flick your hand away, letting go, to spin the ladies in the clockwise direction. When the lady comes around to face, you catch with whichever hand you need for the next move, and then we're going to finish off with a return. So you don't stay this far apart, you step in, raising your hand out to the right and over the lady's head to return her in an anti-clockwise direction, and then step back, lowering your hand to face. So things to know about the catapult. So throughout the move, you're swapping sides twice. So you should end up on the side that you started from. So you're stepping back, you're sweeping your arm, pull down and raise, and then you lean forwards and offer your hand. So you've swapped sides there, but we now need to get back onto the other side. So the man is stepping back to the right, leading the lady in, and then he lets go with the right hand, and now as he spins the lady, he steps back onto the side that he started from. Okay, and then there's obviously the return. Quite often, some of the beginner men, they're thinking so much about their arms that they forget to move their feet, and they end up leading a catapult, but while stood on the spot. So do try and make sure that you're swapping sides and coming back again throughout the move, and you're sharing the work. You're walking around one another throughout the move. The man's walking forwards, the lady's walking backwards, and vice versa. Throughout the move, you're on the move, and try and keep your feet moving. No particular way, just always moving as you dance. Now, another thing on the catapult, as with any move really, you've got to make sure you try and stick to your own roles. The men are usually the leaders, the ladies are usually the followers. So, ladies, when you're following, try to avoid anticipating and starting your spin before the man has spun you, okay? Sometimes that's what happens, and then the man's like, oh, I didn't spin you. So wait for the man, step in beside the man and wait for him to then lead the spin. Also with the catapult, once you've pulled down and raised, and then you lean forwards, men, make sure that you're offering your left hand nice and obviously out behind you. I mean, I'm exaggerating there a little bit, but make sure your hand is offered easily seen, as opposed to sort of just having it hanging down beside you, and the lady might not go for it, okay? But anyway, if the lady doesn't go for your hand straight away, fellas, keep dancing, keep going through the move, because as you step back to the right here, the lady will take hold of your hand eventually. If she doesn't, then you could just let go and step back and slide and catch or something. But the lady will, as long as your hand is obviously offered out behind you, the lady will take hold of it. So another couple of things with the catapult, and that's firstly, fellas, when you're sweeping your arm, when you're pulling down and then raising, make sure that your elbow's going nice and high and over the lady's head, okay? Rather than maybe not so high and potentially decapitating your partner. You don't want to do that. So a nice, clear, high arch, and obviously be aware of different partners' heights. Also, when you lead the spin, fellas, you make sure, as you throw your hand away to spin the ladies, that it's thrown away down at waist level, okay? As opposed to your hand going up into the air and the lady then potentially keeping hold and misinterpreting what you're trying to lead. So the catapult, when it's danced through, looks like this. It goes 7, 8, step back, pull down and raise, lean forwards, back to the side. You're going to spin the ladies and catch with the left, return and back.